everyone, and welcome to another episode of Appropriate Productions, the high-resolution, low-brow, apolitically correct freedom of speech art company. In our episode today, we do the last of the four-part reviews of I Killed Giants, arguably one of the best graphic novel stories told through the medium of comic books over the last 20 or 30 years. Had a lot of fun doing the review. We hope you enjoyed it as well. Thanks a lot for watching. And here we have I Killed Giants, Chapter 5. Sophie's just getting to school. She's wondering where Barbara is. She can't find her anywhere. She's not in class, not at the lockers. She tries to find her at lunch. That's a bad glare. And here she's talking to that giant beast. Can't find her friend, who just kicks her ass also. She tries out Miss Mall, the school psychiatrist. Can't seem to find her. So they go to Barbara's house and talk to the sister, who flips out. 6 days. You put her on the bus every day. Where the hell's Barbara going? She talks about how you could just see the body language. She's talking about how she leaves chicken or cordon bleu or something like that where she can, but it's usually just milk or cereal. She's just burnt out. Yeah, all of Barbara's supporting characters in her story are meeting together. This is usually ominous, I think, in storytelling. It's usually a sign that something, in this case, the giants are nearly here. Mordor's taken over. All of the allies have to get together. It usually doesn't happen till the end. The Greek method, it's sort of the Western way, is that we're really disagreeable. We'd like to do our own thing. We're pretty independent. So when conflict hits, there's usually 5,000 different options we pursue. We tend not to pull ourselves together until they're actually at the gates. And I think it's reflected in our storytelling that the heroes never seem to assemble early on in the story. It's usually late, after the villains have taken out 2 or 3 of the characters and they've gotten all of the freaking gems or whatever. And it's not usually until then that the heroes go, you know what, maybe we should work together at this one, you know? It's a reflection of, it's a symbol, it's a storytelling symbol of, or trope of Western behavior. I'm just putting it out there as a hypothesis. Here Sophia tries to find her friend Barbara, opens her bedroom door, and bam! Barbara has fucked up her bedroom. This is a messed up kid right here. She's having a hard time. Is that a bed? I think that's a bed. And you can see in the word bubbles here that her sister and her therapist are talking. Miss Small and her sister. There's a lot to discuss. Did you know about her fights? Oh no, fighting? Did she hurt someone? I think it's time everyone had a frank discussion. All of us. You can see that Barbara's replaced someone in a picture with a monster face. And then Sophia thinks she's found something and takes off, looking for Barbara. She's at a store, looks like a grocery store or a comic book store or something like that. No, it's definitely a comic book store. What am I thinking? Jesus, I have no right to be doing this. If I can look at a panel with this guy doing that and think, I think it might be a grocery store, those bananas? No, I'm underqualified for comic book reading, clearly. Here she's looking for this Barbara girl, and all of them are like, you don't play like she does. Thank God. They've all left her alone. She's trying to study to kill giants. Giants. And they have a little conversation. Sophia tells Barbara that she's scaring the crap out of everyone. You know, they're worried. Barbara's freaking out. Her Kovaleski's broken. The hammer isn't working. Everything's falling apart. She's flipping tables. That's when you know you're angry. Jesus Christ. Girl with bunny ears flipping tables. Oh, see, how great is this comic book? No fighting in the war room. This is it. This is one of the most important lines in comedy in the last 200 years. Fucking right. She's kicked out. She's disillusioned. She's pissed off her friends, her family, her teachers. Now she's kicked out of this freaking geek hole. Just at the bottom. This is exactly how the Greeks fought the Persians too. Let's go back to that story. The Greeks had lost everything. Athens had been taken. Half of the city in the Peloponnesian Isles had been flipped over and had given their loyalty to the Persian Empire and Xerxes. The whole thing had just collapsed, the whole Greek experiment. It wasn't until that guy named Themistocles talked to a guy named Leonidas and said, maybe you could try holding off this coming army because it's going to wipe out what remains. If you can hold them off, I think I can get people to work together. And he convinced a whole bunch of Greek dudes to build a fleet of boats, which was crazy. They'd never built boats before. The Persian army had way better fucking models and technology behind them. But somehow, the Greeks were here for the longest time. You know? Right at the bottom. Knees to the ground. Head, nose to the ground. Everything just ruined. You can always come back. You can always come back. Sophia runs into the goon squad. They're threatening to show Barbara what a real giant can do. Barbara's fishing something out of a gutter here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's probably one of her gnomes or something. Everything's falling apart here for Barbara. Miss Small's catching up. She's starting to figure out what's scaring Barbara so much and what this giant's about. We can't just talk about your fantasies anymore as much as it hurts. And here it is. Your mother is dying. We're not in school. Go home. She wants to see you, Barbara. Why are you acting weird? I said I have to do something. Barbara, you cannot kill this giant. Your mother has cancer. We need to go to get her together and work with the time we have left. Barbara's not having it. She is... Oh, God. Dead animals? Barbara screams to the moon and the sky and the rain and the clouds. She wants it to stop. Jesus. She sees, Barbara sees, sorry, I got lost there. That was a heavy part of the story. Sees Sophia getting her ass kicked by, I forget the troll's name. And she's pulling out an axe, or a hatchet. This fight's getting serious. And then Barbara kicks her ass again. But Sophia's pretty messed up. She doesn't think she can run. You're sick like your nasty mother. You should die like she is, you nasty thing. This is messed up. She's charging. Is she gonna kill her? Is she gonna kill Barbara? Boom. Boom. This is huge. What's happening? It's thunder, you pussy, that's all. It isn't thunder. It's here. Look at the pacing. Look at the pacing. The way this page takes up such a huge amount of space. Slowly moving over here, and then it's just taking its time. But it's happening all so quickly at the same time. So for the reader, I'm experiencing the story because of the pacing of the panels in a way that's like a fraction of the speed of the pace the characters in the story are experiencing the story. For them, this is all happening in a period of seconds, but for me, it's like a scene when time slows, you know? Like a Matrix fight or something. And then this. Jesus, look at that glare out of here. Look at this. The detail, the rain. This is huge. This is epic. When I first read this, I was already turned over. I was a huge fan of the story by this point. And the style had won me over. Even though at first it was a thing that I didn't like the story for, I'd gone 180 completely in just a few hours of reading it. Less than a few hours, frankly. But this page, holy Christ, is this thing demonic. Look at the water just fucking obeying this creature's whimsical movements. It's an actual giant, says Sophia. No, says Barbara. It's a titan. It's unstoppable. And she's lost her Kovaleski. And she's lost the power of the hammer. And everything's fallen apart. This, man, there have never been a period where more barbarians were surrounded by the gates. Our hero might be fucked. Look at this. Damn, what a picture. It's not a kid's story anymore. Wow, the detail. I love the detail and the shading. Everybody runs. Run, Barbara! But she ain't doing it. The Titan. God, it's too big. Just its steps. Just its steps are lethal. It's reaching for her friends. I guess troll thing's kind of a friend. Sophia. And Kovaleski starts to glow. Maybe the power's returned. Look at that. Oh, that's a good shot. The lighting's perfect. Sophia's messed up. And they're grabbed. Oh, they got her. I didn't even catch that right away. Gonna King Kong those kids or something. If she doesn't tell us something fucking soon. Snack. That's it. You gotta respect a giant monster eating titan creature. You know, he's just got the munchies. You know, it's probably late in the afternoon for him. He's had a long day. Maybe he's working a bunch. He just needs some cookies. You know, in this case, little girls. But cookies are little girls. If you're a giant monster eating titan. Look at this badass. Jesus, Barbara. Look at that badass hammer. Look at the design, man. Freaking cool. She's doing her Gandalf, thou shalt not pass line. You will not take her. Do you hear me? You will not take my mother. The Titan's amused. Let's do this. Drops the. This is a bad landing for Trollface. Sophia had a rough hit, but man, Trollface is going to get it in the face. Help her out a little bit. The Titan is moving over. Look at the difference in stature. You can just kind of make out Barbara down there. Look at the Titan. Takes a whack and just barely misses her. Go away, you can't have her, it screams, and she just messes up its foot. She screams and just messes up its foot. Scutch. Sometimes, I swear to God, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, what that sound is. Raru. See, sometimes the letters get kind of nuts. Scutch. Oh, and it kicks over her house. Jesus. Mom's in there. Things are falling apart bad. Her hammer's down. Kovaleski's broken. She's been grabbed. It's a good shot. He's gonna snack on Barbara. Jesus, only... Barbara's gone. She's got the hammer. Crack! That's freaking cool. Barbara is not to be fucked with. What a cool hero. And then while the Titan is down, look at this. Yes, go, go. And she's just leaping up. She's not having it. She's fucking having this guy's end. That's what she's having. Kaboom. Jeez. That's some great motion right there. Gotta work on that. That's really good. I've tried that myself a bunch. It's a lot harder than it looks. That technique. And Barbara. Barbara's doing her football dance. She's going to live because I beat you. She's going to live. And then it speaks, little warrior. I didn't come here for her. I came for you. I came for you. But I beat you. I know, child. I know. I believe I fought so hard. So hard. There isn't anything I could have done, was there? I'm sorry. It looks like he's trying to eat her still. And she finishes him quite thoroughly, I think. Kaboom. And that's the end of Chapter 6, and it might be the end of Barbara. Chapter 7, the end. And she finds Kovaleski. I am not going to show you the very end because I don't want to spoil it. It's really, 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 really good. I'm going to try to show you, there we are. Sketchbook gallery that came with the graphic or the trade paperback. Look at this. This is not the kind of style that I would have considered something I got really into. But man, this art style is perfect for the story. The characters. Miss Mull. The sister. Barbara, I think, is one of the best characters that I've read in a story or a comic book. In a comic book story, it's got to be years. I can't remember the last time I felt so aligned with the character, you know? Like I was really rooting for this girl. I could totally understand where she was coming from. All of her faults and weaknesses made complete sense. I don't know that I would have made this. I definitely would have been punching my psychiatrists in high school or anything like that, but it was hard not to understand at all where she was coming from. I think that's really important. And it shows there was a lot of time and care in building the character in the first place, but also how cool is that? A character with faults is something you can learn from, you know? Pretty cool. These are the designs for the monster at first. I like that guy, like the big fat blob dude. I think they settled on the right model though. That's the layouts. I got very lucky one year at a comic convention, and I got to work with a guy named Neil Adams, a freaking legend in the field of this wonderful comic book industry. And he showed me a cool trick is you take a piece of paper and you fold it 4 times. And each one of those is like a page. So you can do really quick layouts. Just get an idea of what you want your page to look like. Je tu des géants. And just a bunch of quick little comics I did to promote the book. Give away comic conventions or web comics or things like that. And I want to end on this. This is some of the best advice you're ever going to come across. Keep your giants tied up. It's a great story about, it's a kid's book, and this little girl, is it a little girl? It doesn't matter. This kid notices there's a dragon living in the basement. It's like a kitten-sized dragon. But the parents don't notice the dragon. They think, oh, dragons aren't real. It doesn't make a difference. It's not that they don't recognize the dragon. They won't see the dragon. They think it's just a fictional thing. The kid's like, no, it's eating all the food and everything. I'm pretty sure it's here. But the parents like, no, dragons aren't real. And the more that they ignore the dragon, the more of their food the dragon eats, until the dragon grows and grows and grows. Until finally, the dragon is bigger than the house. Its legs and arms are sticking out of the windows and garage door and stuff. And it just gets up and carries the house out and walks away. And finally, that's on this day, the dad's driving home and he sees this thing and he's like, well, that's definitely a dragon. And he starts addressing the dragon directly, making eye contact with it. And it looks like it might be out of control at this point. The boy, or girl, the kid, whatever, just gets up on the dragon's head and starts petting it and talking to it and giving the dragon proper attention and recognizing that the dragon does in fact exist. And the more that the boy pays it, or kid or whatever, pays attention to the dragon, the more the dragon shrinks back to the same size. And when the dragon gets back down to kitten size, the mom, who would not for the life of her recognize this thing's existence, once the thing got up and started carrying her house away, she couldn't help it. And she recognizes that once the dragon gets down to kitten size, she's like, this actually isn't that kind of bad. I kind of like the dragon. It was a great metaphor, the story, for addressing your problems when they come up, and don't let them get. If you ignore your problems, they won't ignore you. They just take over, and eventually they grow bigger than your house and carry it away. It's important to pay attention to your giants, but to keep them tied up. That's basically what this whole story has been about. This entire 7 chapters. The last one I left out, so you guys can find out for yourself. But you could kind of compact, collapse, and concentrate the entire 7 chapters into this image right here. It's great advice. Keep your giants tied up. Thank you for watching, everybody. This has been a several-part review of Appropriated Productions. We hope you enjoyed it, and stay apolitically correct.